Okay, good news. After days of being patient, working with these spark plugs, I have been able, it looks like I'm going to be able to go ahead and extract them. You can see this one is now completely cleared out of liquid, and I'm working on this one. The liquid has gone down a little bit. So what's happening in there is the concoction that I use, okay? And here's what I use. Are you ready for it? I use a mixture of brake parts cleaner, carburetor cleaner, and penetrating oil. Okay, brake parts cleaner, carburetor cleaner, and penetrating oil. All right, and I pour that down in there. And one of the reasons why I use it, that concoction is great for breaking up any type of carbon buildup, rust, anything like that. Soak something in that for a couple days, and you'll be good to go. The other reason why I use that is because while you are doing this, those chemicals are going to get down into the cylinder. So you really want something that will evaporate out of the cylinder so long as you leave it open for a day or so. So again, the method I use to get these out is I first, ever so slightly, and I'm talking, fine motor skills, hair by hair, get that carbon to break. And if you've ever messed with any type of plug like this, you know it makes a screeching sound or noise when it breaks. Well, once it makes that screeching noise, I stop and I start filling it up with chemicals. Sometimes it takes an hour to get a plug out. Sometimes it takes a few hours. Sometimes it takes a day. And I've even had it take as long as a week to get a plug out. But bottom line is, you save a ton of money and a huge nightmare doing this. So I'm going to see if I can both film this video and pull this plug. So now as I'm turning it, you'll see okay, and actually if you get to a point where you feel stuck it again, then stop and let that fluid, let those chemicals work its way down into those threads, and then go ahead and pull your plug. So I'm going to go ahead and put this camera down just for a second and get these plugs pulled now. All right, and we got those plugs out, and you can see what it is you got to break up. Okay, so it's all just liquid goop now. And that's from days and days worth of soaking it. Okay, before that was hardened in the cylinder head, and what these plugs like to do in these Tritons is break, and once that happens you're in trouble. But I've dealt with them enough times that, 8 times out of 10 this method works. So brake clean, penetrating oil such as PB Blaster, and then also carburetor cleaner. Pour it down into the spark plug hole. That's after you've gotten it to turn just a hair. You got to be very careful how you turn it, how you break that carbon in there. And then once you do, you've got those threads opened up, and even though they're only opened up a hair, even though it's broken just a hair, that's enough for stuff to get down in there and start working its magic. And again, it can take hours, it could take days, sometimes it could take weeks, but it saves you a major headache. It keeps a small headache from turning into a migraine. So now we need to address the fan clutch on this guy. And so that's going to be real interesting, because as I said, we've got that big chain wrench on it. I love that chain wrench. It's really not meant for automotive repair. It's meant for heavy repair like Caterpillars and stuff like that. But when you run into a situation like this, then it definitely helps. So the thing is we're now going to obviously use some different tools, strap wrenches and other thing. Hold this pulley so we can get the torque we need to get on this fan clutch and get this sucker off. It's been soaking all night and penetrating oil as well. So that will be the next challenge. In the meantime, I'm going to use gasket remover, soak all these surfaces, get all this cleaned up, use the shop vac, as you can see. But some of you may be wondering, why does he have a shop back there? I actually take the extra time to go ahead and clean out the valleys of these engines, make everything look nice and new again, make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be before we button all this back up. So that is the next step. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, if you guys have any questions, if you're watching this video and you have any questions about a project you're doing yourself, please feel free to shoot it to us in the comments. I personally can't get to every question, but I really enjoy and respect the guys that I've noticed that have been pretty quick to jump on and answer the questions of other people. So thank you to all the other mechanics on my channel that are communicating with everybody. I really am excited that we're creating a community where people can just come and discuss and learn and share and all that other good stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, Merry Christmas. I'm going to go back to work on this RV. This is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, signing off.